We're talking with Jim McGovern. He is the superintendent of the Lake Lehman School District here on the John Mendola Show. Jim, it's been an interesting ride all summer, and I would say that right now that today is a big day. It's a green light for the PIAA, but it's going to be a slow process. It's going to be a day-by-day process for education, for athletics. There's big picture stuff here. I mean, we have a lot of people involved, grandparents and referees that are a little bit up in age, coaching staffs that have some age. So I think everybody has to kind of slow it down a little bit and think, okay, let's try our best to make this work and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody can walk in and think that there's certain chances of success. I think the main part of this movement was to give the districts a choice, not to say if a district is right or wrong with any decision they make regarding the health of their students. The onus is that we understand our communities the best, and we have that. But we also know that there's a real good chance that there are going to be things that go wrong during the course of not only will we start with the sports calendar, but also opening the schools as well. At Lake Lehman, we're going back face-to-face 5 days a week come September 8th. But I think that's why it's important now that we shift to really focus on all game day protocols to try to make it as absolutely safe as we can. But also in school, when there comes a time where students are contracted or we have employees, staff members, or community members that they come down with COVID, that we have the strict protocols in place to make sure that we mitigate it as much as we can.
Those procedures, those policies, those day-to-day operations, you guys have kind of had that at your complex. I mean, athletic fields, okay, here's who's coming in, it's shut down, this is what happens, this is what goes on. So at your particular district, and some districts have had the red light for the last couple of weeks that they've done nothing. But at your district, you feel like you have a lot of these things already in place?
Yes, since June 4th, we've been full go with all of our athletic teams. From the day that I think it was a Wednesday or Thursday prior to June 1st, we were allowed to begin working on our templates, and we finished it that weekend, handed it out to the coaches, explained it to the coaches, and I have an exceptional team of administrators, that are extremely dedicated to assisting our students. And we divided everything up into zones, and we have strict cleaning protocols. And there's a lot of time spacing in between practices and very little shared facilities. So we're very fortunate at Lake Lehman for that. And we've had no incidences, but the entire school district has had a low incident rate to begin with.
As you say, some districts are back full time. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them are at home doing stuff. There's some with hybrid models. So there's a variety of those things that could play a factor in the educational component and then spin over into the athletic component. But how about the enthusiasm of both your coaches and your student athletes at Lake Lehman? Are they pretty darn excited to say, hey, we're grateful for an opportunity?
I think that would be a tremendous understatement. From the time that quite a few of our athletes went down to Harrisburg yesterday to support the rally, and then today, I think there was just a collective cheer from everyone. There's already people who went back today to get an extra practice in tonight who are asking for keys to the gate to get in. But at the same time, it's been very difficult over the last few weeks because you could feel a little bit of desperation, a little bit of doubt starting to creep in on some of our athletes and some of our coaches. But I have to tell you, they really relied on one another during this time to know that somehow, some way, we were going to try to find a way to even just have a chance. That's what I think was the most important to them, to give everybody a little bit of hope that no matter what happened, that the school had their backs.
There's a formula, and every county has numbers. You being an athletic kind of guy, you have to think safety first. So talk about just being as grounded as you have been, I think, in your thought process with this whole thing. And it's not easy decisions to make.
No, it's not an easy decision to make at all, but I do serve at the will of my school board and I serve at the will of my community. And we've had extensive conversations with our community and what they wanted to see. And as long as we can provide a safe environment. And 71% of our families wanted to come back face to face. The other 29% are divided amongst live streaming and cyber students. So it provides that percentage breakdown allows us to provide social distancing. But at the same time, we're able to functionally have a lot of cleaning protocols that came in place. We also just purchased a great system for ventilation. It's called needlepoint bipolar ionization, which is eventually trying to clean the air while all of our students and staff are inside. So we're very happy with all the steps that we take. I think we've been very progressive. And I think the confidence that the parents have is shown to 71% demonstrates that the confidence they have in the school district in the planning in this process.
I think none of us, could predict what's going to happen, but we're all hoping for the best here. And I think we feel like, hey, people in our families have taken this pretty seriously. We feel like people in our community have taken it seriously. We're hoping the execution of all this over the next several weeks could result in that for both the education of a student athlete and for the athletic component of that. I'm sure you're going to just keep that optimism and hope it all works out.
Well, I think when we started out yesterday was with a quote from Teddy Roosevelt saying that the best thing to do is the right thing. The next best thing is to do is the wrong thing. But the worst thing you can ever do in any decision is do nothing. So that's where we stand.
Well, Jim, we appreciate your time. Thanks for talking with us, and we'll see how things look going forward here for sports in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Thanks, John. Go Black Knights, all right?